everyone, it's your favourite Atomic Blonde here with some bank holiday brunch. Yes. So yesterday kind of got away from me as it does. And yes, unfortunately I wasn't able to bring you a big plate full of Sunday lunch. So I got about half an hour. So I thought I'd quickly jump on, have a little bit of a, I guess, ramble, same as always. And deliver a bit of bank holiday brunch, or public holidays as you might call them in other countries, but we call them bank holidays because it used to be the banks shut on a Monday and stuff. Anyway, doesn't matter. So good start. Anyway, so I have a nice big, as you can see, big mug of tea to get me through this brunch. I've just polished off a cinnamon raisin bagel. Hopefully I've not got any sultanas in my tea, because that'd be a good start. Yeah, so what's been going on this week? There's always some crazy lunacy coming out of Disney. Seems every single day. They are absolutely on fire, literally, as we saw with the poor dragon from Sleeping Beauty on fire in I think Disneyland. With their absolutely doubling down, quadrupling down. But then we've had Kathleen Kennedy, surprise, sort of saying nobody wants Luke Skywalker. He's taken a back seat. All the leaks and stuff coming out of the Mandalorian for season 3 tanking, and again removing all aspects of Luke Skywalker being involved, being in Ahsoka, etc. So then what do we see in America? That they've re-released in limited theatres this weekend Return of the Jedi. It's 40th anniversary, which makes me feel really old. And I was slap bang that target audience age group when this came out. And for years, Return of the Jedi was my favourite Star Wars film. I know, but I said I was absolutely the target audience for this. I was 8 years old, and for years, and as an adult, I look at them now, and of course I know Empire Strikes Back is the better film. I know, but I still have a massive soft spot, even though it's the weakest out of the trilogy. But I still love Return of the Jedi. It's one of those films like whenever I'm not very well, and I curled up on the sofa with a blanket, I will put either depending on how bad I feel, the whole trilogy on, or certainly Return of the Jedi, and it kind of just gives you that warm fuzzies with something Hollywood doesn't know about anymore. Positive, hopeful endings, redemption arcs, something they completely lost how to write, and heroes. So so I was watching Echo Base Network. Shout out to the guys over at Echo Base last night who were talking about this, and it's absolutely storming it. So apparently it's taken $5 million, which doesn't sound a lot in current film world, but when you factor in that it's only in about 200 theaters in America for the anniversary, and Kill Surprise, Disney haven't promoted it. They just kind of stuck it out there. But I think Coach was saying the maths is it's almost like $10,000 a theater, which you just don't see ticket sales like that. So it shows, as we all know, there's a love for the classics, and there's still a love for Luke Skywalker, no matter how much KK tries to kill him off. People will always go back to that version. So well done for those guys that were able to go see it in theaters. When I heard it, I was really excited. I thought, oh, having something great to do at the bank holiday, and then realized it was only in America. So I was like, bugger. So I shall probably be watching that a bit later on, so not to feel left out. But yeah, I just wanted to a bit of a shout out to Return of the Jedi and its 40th anniversary. I feel so old. But it's a great result. 5 minutes. I think it's on till like the 2nd of May, maybe. So still a couple of days to go see it in the States if it's on near you. So definitely one to check out and take your kids to. Also, we saw this week the first reviews of The Flash coming from CinemaCon, I think it is, in Vegas. I don't know. We know obviously there's a lot of media people that attend these things, and then some people said it's like, the best comic book movie ever made, which is kind of what you expect from the media. Everything's the greatest thing since the last thing. But certainly, it does seem to have quite some, more measured reviews, that it's not the greatest film ever made, but it is a good film and the story is good. Obviously, we saw the latest trailer, so we're also there going, hang on, is this a Batman movie? They lean so heavily into Batman. Obviously, Michael Keaton's Batman. We know Ben Affleck's in it as well. And apparently Adam West in some capacity, which I love. I love the 60s schlock Batman, and it's crazy to think that's still the only live action Batman TV show we've ever had, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know there's been lots of animated Batmans which are highly rated, but I'm just trying to think, proper dedicated Batman show. I mean, I know there was like Bruce Wayne in Batwoman and some of the Arrow crossovers, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, I really don't know. I mean, part of me is like, do I even want to go see this film? I really don't want to support Ezra Miller in any way, shape or form, but it would be great seeing Michael Keaton. I do like the Batman films. Love Batman Returns. It's probably one of my favorite Batman films. Back in the day, old Michelle Pfeiffer, absolute legend, and she still is. She looks amazing. Yeah, so I mean, I very much take with a pinch of salt what they're all saying. I think, R&B, who I mentioned quite a lot on this channel, Robert Meyer Burnett, I do take a lot of stock in his opinions on things, but I am a little bit more measured when it comes to Marvel and those kind of things, because I kind of fundamentally disagree with him on quite a few of the sort of phase 4 Marvel films. But he sees the good in everything, which is fantastic. So I don't know, we'll see. I think I'll wait and see how once it's actually released what the actual moviegoers are saying, and maybe make a call. But it's one of those things I kind of want to see it, but like I say, I feel kind of uncomfortable seeing it, which kind of leads on really to like Aquaman 2. I am definitely not. I mean, I signed the petition to get the turd removed. Apparently she's still in it, so I am not going to go see that at the cinema. I mean, from what we've heard, it's a pretty crap film anyway, which is a shame, because again, I quite like Jason Momoa, and he was great in obviously the Snyder Justice League, and I liked Aquaman 1. Leave your brain at the door. It was fine. But yes, I will not be going to see Aquaman 2, and support that woman in any capacity. Don't really want to get into it. I think they're both as bad as each other, but he was done dirty. He was done dirty, Johnny. Yeah, so watch this space on the old DC front, and more the sort of Marvel films are coming out. We're seeing the pre-sales for Guardians, which are a lot lower than obviously what Disney Marvel were hoping for. I think, as I said on Sunday Brunch the other week, I think what you're more likely to see with Guardians is people, again, waiting to see what the reviews actually are. And I think if it's a good film, we won't see the drop-off that we've seen with some of the others. But I think people are sort of not really bothered about going to see it as soon as it opens and wasting their money. I know I really regretted going to see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That was a complete waste of money. And people have done the same with Ant-Man. I've not bothered to go see it. Within like 2 weeks, it's going to be on Disney Plus anyway. And even then, I don't think I'll bother watching it. The girl that plays his daughter in it, which is in Supernatural, she played a character called Claire. And by all accounts, she seems to be playing exactly the same character, sort of selfish, self-absorbed, sassy Mary Sue. Yeah, so yeah, not interested in that. But anyway, I do actually have my ticket to go see Guardians next week. I know we've got the coronation next week here in the UK, and I know crazy I'm not going to be watching that, but I am going to go and watch Guardians instead. So I will let you know what I think. I have to say, seeing the most sort of recent trailer with like Rocket and his friends, I was like, oh man, I'm just going to bawl my eyes out. Anything with animals and I'm gone. Even though I know there's CGI animals, they're not real animals. If anything happens to those animals, I'm going to be just a mess, just crying. People, not, but anything happens to Rocket or his friends, that's it. I'm going to be game over. Sobbing like a little girl. So, but I will let you know. What I think next weekend. What else? So in terms of reviews and TV shows, obviously a lot of the stuff I've been reviewing all finished the other week. Mando, my beloved, Picard season 3, and School Spirits. So obviously trying to find the next thing to watch. I did say last week that Citadel was coming out on the 28th. I've managed to see both episodes of that. As I previously said, I'd already seen the first episode, the not quite finished version, so some of the CGI was missing, and I say some of the CGI on that train was awful. I was like, it actually looked better without the CGI version I saw, I think. But yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it. I do like Richard Madden. I think he's a great actor. Rumored to be the next James Bond, so we will see. Apparently, he posted a picture on Instagram, where he had a martini, shaken not stirred, and everybody went into a frenzy. whether that was intentional or unintentional, I don't know. But yeah, he was great in it, and yeah, I mean, I've already sort of given the premise of what the first episode is. So they're part of Citadel. There's a rival agency. They get ambushed on the train. The train blows up. They both lose their memories. We then jumped 8 years later. Richard Madden's character, Mason Kane, doesn't know he's Mason Kane, can't remember anything. He's now married and he's got a daughter. And he's desperate and he keeps getting like dreams or images of his partner, this woman, and he's seeing a therapist. So they decide to take his DNA and run it through. And they've done it 8 years ago, but nothing came back. But they're like, well, technology's moved on since then. And obviously it flags somewhere that he's still alive as a Citadel agent. And Tucci comes after him. And all these characters, the way they're doing at the moment, because, we don't really know the backstory of these characters yet. We assume Citadel were the good guys. But we don't know exactly who are these good people, are they bad people, or is it just shades of grey that no one person, you cannot be in that kind of world and be wholly good or wholly bad. You have to make moral and decisions all the time. So yeah, but we ended up on so 2 episodes have dropped, another 4 to come. It's only 6 episodes. It seems like I had a crazy budget, like $200 million per episode, based on the CGI in episode 1. I don't know where that money went, but in the second episode, we see more of the other character, and it ends up that she basically, before something happens to them, they can download their memories effectively. There's sort of like a chip in them, and that way, if they get captured and they're tortured, they can't give anything away because literally their memories have been wiped. And then once they're retrieved or whatever, they can then bring their memories back. So at the end of this, she manages to get her memories back, and she says, like, I remember everything, because at this point Mason's been able to find her. But again, and then we see coming up in the season, it was a Citadel operative that gave them out, that sold them out. So is that Mason? Is it her? Is it a different agent? Is it Tucci? So again, we really don't know who's good, who's bad in all of this. All we know is that she's got her memory back. He hasn't. And we're going from there. So I actually enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Again, with any of these genres, like I was talking about with John Wick the other week, you've really got to, dispel belief a little bit. I think the fights, I mean, she gets punched in the face quite a few times. So I keep saying it's the Jonas. I can't think of it. I can never pronounce her name. It's very, very rude of me. Just getting her name up. It goes with a P, doesn't it? That's really helpful. Bear with me, guys. Like I say, this was a bit on the fly. This this brunch. There we go. Typical. It's literally on the screen. There we go. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who's an absolutely stunningly beautiful lady. Nick Jonas is a very lucky man. And so her character, she gets punched in the face, she gets flung around. There's none of this sort of shying away from hitting women in this at all. But she holds her own. But like I say, she is just picked up and chucked across the room by a 300-pound guy, because that's exactly what would happen. But she also is a trained fighter, so she can get a few punches in. She can take a punch, blimey. And so in that sense, I quite enjoyed it. I think some people will probably hate it, going, oh well, she should be unconscious if someone hit her like that, and maybe so. But if you can take a punch, you can take a punch. Not everybody has a glass jaw. But yeah, I think it was quite good fun, quite twisty turny, and like I say, at the moment we don't know who's good, who's bad. It's implied. So, but I'm still quite interested to see where this goes. I quite like the unfinished version when I saw it a few months back, and was looking forward to this coming out. And yeah, I'm still quite enjoying it. I think because the Richard Madden character hasn't got all his memories back, I think a few people would be a bit like, is he being a bit overpowered by Priyanka's character? Maybe a little bit, but I think overall it was quite balanced. He saved her, she saved him, and they're a partnership at the end of the day. Seems to be that maybe they were married at some point, or certainly were an item, but they were also a spy team. So anyway, go check it out. Let me know what you think. It's on Prime. Citadel by the Russo brothers. I think they're executive producers on it. So far so good. Not perfect, not the best spy action thing you've ever seen, but yeah, good, entertaining. And that's kind of what you can really ask for these days. Good old rabbit hole. Wow, I mean, this is twisty turny. So at the end of the last episode, we found out that his team was still alive, and they were faking their deaths because they knew they'd been infiltrated. It turns out that the intern was actually a hitman, and but also far more dangerous than they thought he was. They knew he was a plant, but they didn't realize how dangerous he was. And really, the whole episode is sort of getting flashbacks of how the team were faking blowing up the office, how they were going to get out. And then by the end of the episode, the team are actually dead. So the intern figures out what they're doing, kills them all, chucks them down the lift shaft. So last episode we thought they were dead. End of the episode they're alive, and by the end of this episode they're dead again. I am still enjoying it, but it is on the verge of getting that sort of dangerously convoluted, like good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, and they're just constantly on the run at the moment, going from safe house to safe house. They need to kind of do something that's not the plot of every episode, because you kind of get they get found, they move to a new safe house, then there's lots of flashbacks, then they move to the next safe house. So I think this needs to sort of change gears slightly. And we really need to start unraveling what the flip is going on. But Kiefer's brilliant in it, as is Charles Dance. So I say I am persevering with it. I am still quite enjoying it, but it is one you really need to pay attention, which I do love, actually. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. You can't sit there on your phone watching this. You need to be watching what's going on. But like I say, it's on the cusp of just getting way too convoluted and losing people. It may have done already, but I'm sticking with it. I'm definitely going to watch it till the end. see what happens. I think it's got potential to have like one of those mother of cliffhanger type things, given what we've seen so far. But yeah, still enjoying it. Not too bad at all. Obviously you need to find some new shows to watch. There's quite a bit coming out. I've had some good recommendations, so shout out to the Mega Geek Ian, who has recommended Barry, which is on now. Again, another sort of comedy hitman. I'm not sure if that goes hand in hand, but obviously a dark comedy, I'm guessing. So I'm going to be checking that out. What was the other one? I'm definitely going to be checking out the 12 Monkeys series by Terry Matalis that also has Todd Stashwick in, based on obviously seeing Picard season 3. Really like his style of writing, and I love Todd Stashwick. He was just obviously brilliant as Liam. So going to be checking out 12 Monkeys. Unfortunately, it's not streaming here in the UK. It was on Now TV. It's not on there anymore. It's part of, we're supposed to have Peacock through Sky, and it literally has 4 programs on it, 5 programs, and they're all things you'd never watch anyway, like Vampire Academy and place. So anyway, it means I'm gonna have to buy them. How rude. But obviously, if it's a good show, I won't mind owning them anyway. So I'm going to be checking out 12 Monkeys. But what I do is watch the whole 4 seasons and do one big review and let you know what I think, whether it's worth purchasing. And I know as soon as I've bought them all, it will come on to streaming. You just know it. But I am also hoping if it is good, that we'll get a 4K. So, because I was going to go buy it on physical media, because it's important to have physical media. But the Blu-ray I think is £65. I see between £65 and £85, and the DVD is still like £55 or something, where you can buy the first season for £6 on Prime. So I will be initially anyway buying the streaming, the downloads. But if it comes out on 4K, I will definitely buy that puppy, assuming it's good. Trying to fill my time. A new show coming up on Apple that I discussed on the Spacebook on Saturday night, Silo. Apple TV with Rebecca Ferguson, who you might know from the Dune films and Mission Impossible films. So this is a bit of a dystopian future. It's based on a trilogy of books. The first one's called Wall, which I just actually downloaded on Audible. So I'm going to be listening to that because I don't really have time to read, but I try to. But I miss. I'm a bit of a bookworm, but as I don't commute into the office every day anymore, I used to be able to do all my reading on the commute. Now I'm only in the office like 1 or 2 days a week, so I don't get much reading done anymore. So obviously the premise is that something's happened, whether chemical or nuclear warfare, we assume, and everybody's underground living in this silo. So it's like thousands of people, and obviously they have, given the confined space and how many people and resources, they have very strict rules. And obviously the main one is that you can't go outside because it's not safe. And then a series of events happen that they do go outside, and someone sort of who takes over the running of the silo is a bit more laissez-faire with the rules and really doesn't care, and things start breaking down. But it's all about, I think, is it actually safe to go outside? What is outside? Is it, so is everything they've been told a lie? And they're basically kept in this silo for who knows what reason? Or was there a valid reason when they went, but now things are okay? But, as we know, people in power don't like losing their power. So they're keeping them there unnecessarily. Or actually they do need to be there. So I guess we'll find out over the coming weeks, as Apple tends to drop weekly on their other shows. So this starts the 5th of May, so coming up this Friday. which is good because I have a Picard-shaped hole in my life, so I need something to watch on Fridays. So I'm very much looking forward to The Silo. I know dystopian isn't everybody's cup of tea, or people are sort of a bit bored of, bleak futures rather than positive, affirming futures that, we're not all going to blow ourselves up, especially at the moment. But I can't help it. I love my sci-fi. I love stuff that makes you think a bit. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking out Silo. Pretty much everything that comes out of Apple because of the money. Talk about production values, great producing, good acting. And some of my favorite shows, like For All Mankind, which I was talking about last year. There's 4 seasons on there. I think this season starts this summer. Absolutely brilliant show. Go check that out. And Severance, that's a real and it had a brilliant cliffhanger. Again, we're due to be getting season 2. I'm not sure if that's this year or next year. And The Fabulous Ted Lasso, Slow Horses. There's some duffers on there, like any streaming service. And what I've heard about is it Ghosted with Chris Evans. Sounds absolutely appalling. And everybody's just like, just don't touch it with somebody else's. So I will be skipping that one. But the shows I just mentioned, absolutely brilliant. I love all of them. And like I said, there's some shows that you don't really get on other channels that I think Apple can take a bit more of a risk with doing a bit more, slightly out there shows. Servants, which just finished, which had like Rupert Grint in it. That was weird and good and frustrating. Yeah, but if you get the chance to get Apple TV, I do recommend it. There's not a massive amount of content on there, but there's some really, really good shows. So yeah, I'm a bit of a champion for Apple. And if you're a bit bored of some of your other streaming services and you want to swap them out for a while, like dump your Disney, go give Apple a check. So I think yeah. So I've got a few shows coming up. Not much on the film slate to look forward to. Also, I've got Guardians, maybe The Flash, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Looking forward to that bad boy. And now, obviously, Tom Cruise has pulled forward the release to, I think, a week after Indiana Jones. You go, Tom. And that's another one. I really don't know if I want to go see that film. I love the first 3 films. 4th one's all right. I think it gets a lot of stick. But I think once we see this one, whether that stick will be justified, I don't know. The old Phoebe Waller flea bag, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. Yeah, so, June. The teaser trailer for June Part 2 coming out beginning of November. I am very excited. If you go, say, way back when my channel started, I gush about June. I've read the books, and I thought it was a fantastic adaptation of the book. Very close to the book, not exact, but the fact he's had to split the first book into 2 films shows you that you couldn't do it exactly like for like. But the sort of important scenes, the fundamentals of the story, are all in there. The effects, there was a lot of practical effects in it, which kind of shows that, and obviously they're on location, they're not in the volume. Really made it for me. And the second half of the book is a lot more action packed. The first half of the book is setting it all up and obviously getting Paul to Arrakis and laying out all the kind of the backstory and what he potentially is. And the second half of the book is him becoming this foretold Messiah, effectively. But yeah, the second half of the book is fantastic. Looking at that teaser trailer that came out, it really, really looks like it nails it. Heard good things. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited. That's probably the one thing I'm probably most excited to see after Mission Impossible. Couldn't get 2 more different types of films. That's me, very eclectic. So yeah, there's a couple of things, but you're just not going to get people back in the theaters without the quality. And also just make some bloody films. I mean, Jesus, like, I thought, well, it's bank holiday. Let's see what's on. And yeah, needless to say, I haven't gone. Hey ho. So anyway, that's it. So it'll be a quick one, just a quick bit of brunch and a cup of tea and a ramble. And it's definitely been a ramble. But yeah, just a few things mulling about, really wanted to chat about, and say hi. So let me know what you think. Rabbit Hole, Citadel, getting rid of Luke Skywalker, Disney imploding, and the DC slate. Love to know your thoughts. So as always, please like, share, and subscribe. It does massively help, especially if you like or leave a comment. The interactions are really important. So hopefully, we'll say we've got the bank holiday again next week for the coronation. So again, my schedule's a bit all over the place. I'll try and do a Sunday lunch or maybe another brunch on the Monday, because I've got a friend's birthday on the Sunday. I've got a friend staying on the Saturday. My weekend is chaos, but I will try and hopefully squeeze something in. We can have a bit of a chat. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. So have a great week. Have a great short week here in the UK. Only 4 days to the next bank holiday. So have a great one. Take care of yourselves and see you soon. Bye-bye.